Looking at the casting in terms of what you do, I like how you combine traditional voiceover actors, traditional anime people, and then some of our favorite movie and TV stars from yesteryear. And the King Star King new programming does that yet again. Has it been difficult to assemble casts like that?
I mean, yeah, we get rejections from some actors. I can't say like who, but it kind of sucks. But for the most part, I got like 95% of the people I wanted on this, which was absolutely great. I mean, with someone like Andie MacDowell, for instance, it was we were in the middle of casting King Star King, and my wife goes out to walk my dog, and a lady walked up to her and said, "Oh my God, I love your dog. That is the cutest little dog." And she picks it up and she plays with it. And my wife realized, I was just like, holy shit, it's Andie MacDowell. So she came home and told me, Andie MacDowell picked up Dracula today. And I went, what? That's a great idea. We should have Andie MacDowell's King Star King's wife.
Wow. Do a lot of the castings happen like that? For example, how did Corey Feldman wind up in the fairy tales?
That's just like, you know, of course, any person from our generation, its dreams are work with Corey Feldman. I mean, Stand By Me, Goonies, and then like he was in Friday the 13th. I mean, so many movies that I watched. It was just like, that was just a childhood dream to come true of mine, to work with Corey Feldman.
I don't know if it was that the Ascension Millennium video was the inspiration for that, but anyway. Back to you here. King Star King, the punctuation is also very unique. I don't remember that punctuation that we have now when the show first started. So when in the process did the punctuation come?
Well, it's just like, you know, wait, you mean punctuation as in the English, like how everyone's speaking?
Oh no, when it says King Star King / exclamation point.
Oh, shit, yeah, that's, if you get an email or a text from me, that's how I write everything. I don't really use periods or commas a lot. It's just like, I just like write, I've always written like that since forever. And yeah, that's kind of how it evolved into going into the title of King Star King. And Adult Swim asking me, you know, you always write like this. Do you want to just make that part of the title? And I said, let's do it. Yeah.
Wow, so that's a happy accident. That's one of those great creative things that happened organically without trying.
Yeah. Yeah. Some things like that do happen occasionally.
So the roots of this program go back about a decade. When did you know that it was coming back for more?
About like 2.5 years ago, like we get a phone call. Well, I get a phone call from Adult Swim. And it started off with an apology. They just said, "We're sorry." I said, "For what?" They're like, "Canceling King Star King season 1." I was like, "Oh, you mean after I won the Emmy?" And they're like, yeah, we apologize. We should have never have canceled it. And I said, okay. They're like, "We want to bring it back." And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I thought it was a prank call. And then I said, to what capacity? Because that could be series, feature, or a special. And they said a special. So I said, okay, cool. I'm down to do a special. You know, at the time I was already working on a new project. So yeah, fitting in a special seemed doable. Little did I know, it's really hard working on two like major just projects at the same time. It's very difficult.
From what I remember, this was announced alongside Ballmasters, which was another special that goes in the history books of Adult Swim. Did you know that you were going to be paired with them, or that was coming back as well?
I had no idea. And Christy, Karacas, and I are very close. Like we talk to each other at least once a week. And so so when he called me and told me he got a Ballmasters special, I said, "Are you fucking kidding me?" They just called me and told me the same thing. I said, Jesus Christ, that's awesome. I mean, it just proves, like, you know, Adult Swim wants to continue working with me, you know, that I don't ever hand in shit late. You know, I'm always punctual with deadlines are very important to me, and staying within budget is very important to me, you know. So I guess you can say they enjoy working with me, and I do my best to like make them happy as well.
So you mentioned before you were working on this simultaneously with another project. Are you allowed to say what that project at the same time was?
Yeah, it's Cartoon Network. They announced it like in November, I think. It's a children's show called Scaredy Cat. And so it's a short / pilot, and we'll be done with that in March. Yeah. So I'm sure they're going to be dropping it somewhere that everyone can see, hopefully on YouTube, or it would be great if it was on HBO Max. That'd be awesome.
So yet another thing that is meant for adults, but at first glance looks like it's for kids.
Yeah. No, this is definitely for kids. Again, it was like I had to reach back to my first 5 years in this industry was at DreamWorks, working on Shrek 3 and 4, and Monsters vs. Aliens, Trolls, Peabody and Sherman. So like I got back in touch with that type of humor a little bit more, but a lot more edgier. I mean, Shrek is a little bit edgy, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, supposedly there was a lot of improv that happened around Shrek.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, to a certain extent. I mean, it's so expensive to make those features, over there that it's not as free as working in TV. Like there's definitely improv in television. Yeah.
So at this point in your career, sometimes you're the creator and or the director and or the writer, etc. It's this multifaceted career. And where you're at now, is that where you hope to be when you started out on the Shrek world?
I mean, to be honest, like I thought when I was in CalArts, I thought the only way to have a life in animation is to work for one of the major feature companies, Pixar, DreamWorks, or Disney, right? That was my mindset. Moronically, I didn't like look into my soul. I'm not a great businessman, and I didn't look into my soul to understand what were the things that inspired you most as a children. I mean, features were great, but it was the TV shows that most inspired me as a kid, and I should have paid attention to myself more. But at the same time, look, I jumped right into feature. It was an incredible boot camp, I mean, learning how to work at a place like DreamWorks. It's very icy. It's very cold. You redo a scene for 6 weeks, to 2 to 3 months, you can be redoing a 2-minute scene. It drives you fucking insane. So I got very depressed working there after a while. And so I thought, what other avenues can I go on? And so to be honest, I tried to become a fine artist for a year because I said, fuck animation, it's not meant for me. And then during that time is when I was approached by Craig McCracken's assistant to pitch a TV show. And he gave me my first development deal, which was really cool. He created Powerpuff Girls, by the way.
Ah, okay. Now I'm seeing the small world nature of Adult Swim because that came back through Cartoon Network and Adult Swim.
Yes, exactly.
Well, here's that free business advice to make you that great businessman. Write the theme song or co-write the theme song for your next series.
I thought you were going to say, here's a good business advice. Write a theme song for your life. Oh. And that might direct you to what you really want to do. So, I mean, that works too.
That works too. Yeah. But when you look at the series creators who always co-write the theme song, but they've never written anything else.
Yeah.
And, the mailbox money. But
yeah, totally.
last question I have for you before I let you go is, what's life like for you outside of being a showrunner and having a dog and a wife and a happy life and all that kind of stuff?
Family and stuff like that. Well, I mean, look, I'm a workaholic. I just love so many facets of art, not just animation. I do a lot of freelance for like skateboard companies, t-shirts, and then I do a lot of fine arts as well. It's just such a shame because if you're going to get into fine arts, it needs to be, 24/7 job. Unfortunately, like, look, my passion for animation is superior to all those other. Animation comes more naturally to me than illustration and fine arts. So I'm juggling those 3 things all at once. When the NFT craze came along, that was really a funny thing to watch because it was like a gold rush. Yeah. And that was insane. I didn't get into it. Did you get into it at all?
With other people's money, a couple of dollars free here and there, buying up stupid things like Megadeth's, like using the credit and you buy up Megadeth's NFT, or the wrestler MJF, you buy up their NFT, and then you go, well, it's going to be worthless, but it's a good story.
Yeah, no kidding. So now you get to say you own those NFTs. Yeah, it's just it's an interesting thing. I mean, look, I had some close friends, make a lot of money You know,
Yeah.
I'm friends with Matt Fury, who created
Oh.
Pepe the Frog. You know, I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how much fucking money he made from NFTs, and he deserves it. You know, he
Yeah.
has the Mickey Mouse of the internet. You know, so yeah, it's just like it's just hard work when you're trying to be an artist, like, and staying relative. You know, it's not easy to stay edgy and relative. You know, and to be honest, this episode is about King Star King against King Jeff Bezos, and it wasn't like we went out of our way to make that happen. It's turned into that. All the writers loved Married with Children, so we thought Al Bundy had a normal job. What can we give King Star King? A job at Amazon, you know? And then that's how kind of that unfolded. And yeah, it's just an interesting thing. But going back to your question, what do I do all the time? Yeah, I do a lot of that. But I do love to relax and fucking watch new shows and old shows and all that other shit, you know? I'm reading Tarantino's new book, by the way, which is amazing. And in it, he's just dropping the names of so many movies I have not watched. It's like, if you buy that book, like, just have a notepad by you, right next to you, because it's just like a constant fucking reminder of just like films you have not watched. And if you think you love film, this book will make you realize you don't, compared to Tarantino.
That is a great recommendation, which I'm going to pick up on. But the bottom line is, JJ, thank you for the many years of great art. Looking forward to whatever is coming next from you. And thank you for being you.
Thanks so much, Darren.
Paltrocast.